Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Betty along with Mike Egan. And first off, Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, same to you.
3 more days. Or hopefully this year will go a little bit better. This next year will go a little bit better than last year.
Yeah, well, COVID's back.
Well, maybe it won't be going better then. Who knows? But
By the way, before we get started, we have to do our promo for Caribou Coffee. This is a what?
frozen hot chocolate.
And that is a what?
Oxymoron.
Oxymoron. And who's drinking it?
The oxymoron.
Hey, what a way to end the new year with jabbing.
That's
my favorite
right.
jabber.
You jab me, and that's all right because I can take it. I'm not being bullied. So,
No, all in good faith.
but we got tournaments.
Tournament time, high
Yeah.
school. Great hockey game last night. The Blue Jackets were able to pull out a 1-0 win over Rock Ridge.
Ridge.
Hey,
Ridge.
one question for you. Are they same to, are they double A?
No, they're single A.
Even though they added more students to the school? Okay.
Well, we've had that age-old debate on this show
Yes, we have.
about when schools combine and how do you not go exceed the limit?
Right.
But plus I think they have, and this isn't ripping on them, so nobody take it like that. But
Why, this
you've
show
got
doesn't
Virginia,
go to Virginia.
you got Eveleth, you have Gilbert, you have Mountain Iron Buell,
Yep.
and then you have, I'm assuming, Mesabi East, because they don't have a hockey team. So
Could
if the
be,
kids
yep.
wanted to come over, I don't know that for a fact. But again, I
Yep.
mean, at some point you're going to exceed the limit that keeps you in double A, either a single
Yep.
A or double A. But
Have you seen that new school?
no, I don't even know where it is.
No. It's bigger than the mall.
Well,
It
I keep every time is it
looks like a college
where
campus.
because I drive over that bridge.
Yep.
And is it on the Evelyn side of the bridge or is it on the Virginia side of
I
the
think it's on
bridge?
the Virginia. I'm not sure. I think it's on the Virginia side. But
Okay, because of course you're supposed to focus on the road when you're
Yeah.
driving, but I look around to see if I
I
can
think
ever see it.
is it in the Midway area? Is that what you used
Well,
to call
yeah,
it?
that's where I think it is,
Okay.
but I haven't seen it, so I haven't seen it from the highway. So, hey, that means I'm paying attention to the road and not,
Yeah.
becoming a careless
Our
driver.
producer director extraordinaire is looking it up on his phone as we speak.
Oh, okay. Well,
Do you want me to spell that out for you? Rock Ridge. What are they called?
Wolverines.
Wolverines.
Yes. Yeah, no, they have a good team.
Yep.
They knew Hibbing had a good team coming in. The tightness of the game, the tight checking of the game, kind of caught me off guard, and I think it caught Hibbing or Eric Rewerts off guard too, because he thought it would be more of a wide open game and more
Yep.
of a 3-2, 4-3 game. But
So who do we got playing today, or who do they play today? Then?
well, now they have Cambridge Isanti comes in tonight.
Oh, okay.
For a 7 o'clock game, and then tomorrow it's an afternoon game against Delano. And I think Delano. I don't know. I'm not going to say if they're ranked or not in the state. They might
Okay.
be. I think I heard them say last night that Hibbing they're like 7th.
Correct. That's
In
what I
the
heard
state.
too. And then it was on TV last night, my 9, and that's got to be the first time in years that I remember that the Memorial Building was actually full of people.
Well, there were cars there. There were
Yep.
definitely a lot of cars, and there were a lot of people there. And that's one thing. Aside from the hockey, the windrows
Oh, yeah.
and the street,
Yeah.
it was chaos
Oh, I bet.
right around there. There was no place to park. I mean, you don't want to park on the street
Yeah.
because you could get dinged up parking on the street.
Well, they could always, park down Howard Street and have a little dinner, and we shuttle them up there.
Well, there's a plan for next year. if
Plan
they
for
ever-
next year, yes. I hope the
if
new
they
owner
ever-
takes care of that.
It's on the north end of Evelyn, off of Highway 53.
So it's Midway.
Yeah.
So it is around there, but I personally cannot see it from the highway, so I don't know. I've been looking to see what it looks like.
Just
And
north of the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Okay. And before we get going to, we need to apologize to our 3 fans out there. We were a little slow last week to begin with, and thankfully Mrs. G and Betty let us know that we were better towards the end.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
We got better. Today I'm a little more prepared, I think.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Last week you didn't have your Lala or Lulu or whatever
No.
the Burr stuff is here. So.
No, and this time I actually have a draw in front of me, so when we start talking about basketball.
Oh, you're
we can-
drawing now?
Yeah.
This is progressing.
Okay.
Can't type, but I can draw.
But yeah, Cambridge and then Delano, and they'll end up. Hopefully they can. Well, he wants to win. I know, kind of jokingly last night, he said he wants to stay. He wants to keep winning until like 2 weeks from now when they play Hermantown.
Oh,
So that'll be the
test?
biggest test.
That
Obviously,
here or at
yeah,
Hermantown?
I believe that's here this
Oh.
year.
that'll be nice.
So yeah, so that matchup is coming up. It should be interesting. It's fun to watch Hermantown play.
Yep.
Because they're like a machine, but they don't have a couple of their guys are gone that should be out that were eligible to play. So I've been told.
They're playing, I assume, A hockey or whatever they call it.
Yeah, they're Class A.
Yeah. No, I meant the players that are gone. They're playing.
Oh well,
Junior A?
juniors maybe, or maybe the developmental camp or someplace. So we'll see. But if those guys are gone and they're still up to the same level, it's a hockey factory.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
Well, everybody moves there. Plays hockey. Now, there's no girls tournament. Is that correct?
No, the girls were down at Kaposha.
That's right.
At Doug Boog Arena in South St. Paul. Unfortunately, they were 0-3. They scored 2 goals in the 3 games. Lost to South St. Paul. Then they lost to Egan and then Elk River Zimmerman.
I had nothing to do with it.
No, nothing. So
That's the town.
they're coming back. I mean, they're battling, I'm sure.
Yeah. Those are big schools, though.
Well,
South St. Paul, Egan is big. So, hey,
well, yeah, and then South St. Paul's is a Class A school. I think the other 2 are Double A. So,
They-
but Hibbing doesn't back down from Double A teams.
good.
So they play them, and it hopefully makes them better by
Yep.
the end of the year. Girls basketball will go there next. They're in Bemidji today and tomorrow at a tournament, and good luck to them. I think they're playing 2 teams from the cities. But I can't think of who they are. Maybe I'm not prepared.
Excuse me for interrupting. Am I wrong? Years ago, didn't we have a girls hockey tournament and a girls basketball tournament same time as the boys?
We never had a girls, but we did have a girls hockey. We didn't have a girls. We did have a girls basketball
Okay.
tournament.
Okay.
But that kind of I don't know why that got scrapped.
Fizzled?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to run them at the same time or whatever. But no, it would be nice if Hibbing could host another
Tournament.
3-day tournament.
Yeah. Well, I remember when Megan Potter was here as the AD, she'd be running back and forth between girls hockey, boys hockey, basketball. I mean, there's just like, but it was a nice little jaunt. You go from the high school to the Memorial Building into the Lincoln and back around.
Yeah,
again, and,
it's a triangle.
yeah. So,
No, that was fun. I know I've been running around too, but it was always fun going to the games and watching them and being able to sit and watch some other games without worried about covering them.
and you were doing the color commentary last night?
Last night I jumped in on the third period with,
Nice.
yeah. So,
Did you know everybody's name or you just call their number?
well, no, I didn't have to worry about that because that's the play-by-play. That was a lot
Oh.
easier being a color guy than it
So
was.
you're the
being-
guy that just steps in and goes,
Yeah.
nice, that's a nice shot.
Yeah, I try to throw out those gems.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, if Egan were here, he'd have some smart-ass remark. Oh, did I say that?
But yeah, so I don't know. Doing both now, it's a lot. Well, it's not. I mean, obviously, analysts have to know a little bit more about the teams and stuff. But
So are you going to be our next Herb Carneal or Halsey Hall?
I doubt it.
Huh?
No.
John, who's that? John
Gordon.
Gordon that did the Twins and made a movie? Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe that group over in Chisholm will come into a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so.
So, anyways,
All right, wrestlers got beat by Rock Ridge yesterday, and they did beat Ashland. Came back and beat on a triangular over at some elementary school, Laurentian Elementary
Okay.
School over there. That must be new too over there.
isn't that the one right next to the football field?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it is. Yeah. So I haven't read the story, so I don't know why. Rock Ridge must be a little deeper. I'm hoping we didn't forfeit a whole lot of matches, because they got to fill those spots.
Right.
That's just and they should have enough wrestlers to do that.
Do we know how the girls wrestling program is doing?
They're doing all right,
Yeah.
but they picked up another. I talked to the coach the other day. They picked up another girl, so I think there's 6 or 7 of them right now.
Right. Good.
So yeah, they're dealing with some health issues and injuries, I think, a little bit. But
Okay.
I like it. I wish they had a full team. To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Interested to see how well they can actually do.
Yeah. There was one of the Kaya Rybacek was there helping them out the other day when I was there, and she wrestled on the boys team.
Correct.
And I told Craig Platt, the coach, that I said that's too bad Kaya didn't have this when
Same
she was
program when she was going
when
through,
she was
right.
in high school.
But she did well. I
Yeah.
mean, she after
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think she's wrestling.
at college.
Yeah.
Is it Augsburg? or-
Maybe it could be
Oh,
Augsburg,
okay.
yeah. But good for her to come back and help these
Yeah.
girls. I mean, a lot of them are first year except for Emma Platt. But that's
Unfortunately, there was some problem, not problems, but the disruption in the boys program. Their coach is on leave right now, so maybe that had a little effect on their mental lookout yesterday. So
Yep.
you wish them the best of luck. I think the program will continue to do well. It was a good program, and it will remain a good program.
Oh yeah, it's always, and they've got
Yep.
the 6 guys that are returning from state.
Right.
So I mean they'll be fun to watch this year, and they just got to fill in with some decent guys in
Yep.
between there. Well, now the boys basketball tournament started Tuesday, and Hibbing lost to Rock Ridge.
Yeah, quite a bit.
No, that one wasn't.
That wasn't too bad.
It was about 30,
Yep.
which wasn't bad. I mean, you got to realize who's actually. A lot of these guys
They're young.
are seeing their first year on a
Yep.
varsity court, so it's going to be. Hopefully they stay strong and work and
Stay positive, stay confident. Same kind of thing we used to tell the football program.
yeah, yeah, that and so yesterday they played Owatonna,
Who?
and Owatonna is a 4A school. They were in the state tournament last year. They did play. They placed 6th actually, I guess, if that's what you want to say, because they lost in the consolation finals to Andover. See, I did some work, so
There you
became
go.
more prepared. But
Lucky, lucky Ron told you all that stuff
Yeah.
before we came out here.
yeah. It was about a 5-minute research thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I was not at the game because I was at the hockey game. But Owatonna did beat us 96-40.
Is it Owatonna or Owatonna?
I don't know. Owatonna.
Oh,
Owatonna.
it's Owatonna.
So I'm sure, and just watching them warm up, they looked
good.
good. Yeah, they weren't. I didn't think they were any bigger than we were.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, they got the age advantage over us and stuff like that. So,
Big difference between a 17, 18-year-old playing against a 15, 16-year-old.
oh yeah, there's definitely a difference.
8th graders on there too.
2 8th graders on the team. So,
Yeah.
hope Coach Ani can keep them focused on doing their best. That's all you can ask.
Mhm.
So,
Well, then today they play at 4:30 against I believe Hiawatha Collegiate.
who?
You heard me. Hiawatha
Hey.
Collegiate.
Hiawatha Collegiate.
And that's the game I did see yesterday was Superior and Hiawatha. And Superior, they beat us the first game of the year.
Correct.
I see why,
Yeah, they're good too.
because they're solid.
Yeah.
And Hiawatha was solid, and Superior got up to a double-digit lead in the second half, and all of a sudden Hiawatha started climbing back into it, and it ended up they took we thought a bad 3-point shot at the end of the game to try to tie it.
This is Hiawatha.
Hiawatha now, so Superior is
I'm getting you to say Hiawatha a dozen
all
times.
right. So Superior's in the finals against Owatonna today. and that game starts at 6:15. Hibbing plays at 4:30.
And these are all at the Lincoln.
All at the Lincoln. First game starts at 1, and then 2:45 for the consolation championship.
Are you going to be a gym rat today, or are you
I
gonna
will probably
jump-
go watch some of those games.
jump
yes.
between the two?
Yeah.
Good.
So I will. Well, no, today is a lot easier because now I can be at the cover of the basketball game and still get to the hockey game
game.
at 7:00. So that's the only thing about being a one-man show is it's if you could. Nobody wants to see me cloned. I don't doubt that, but it would be nice to be able to be at both things at one time.
That would be, but you do a good job. You're good at your job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
See, you dig me, but you also give me some compliments.
We all love you. Right, Ron?
Yeah, and I do this,
Excuse me.
and I go on. I help John Law. I don't know if I can say that name on the air or not. But,
Yeah, but you're on national TV here.
well, that's true. We're on what Apple TV and Roku and
Cool, and
Yeah.
internet.
internet.
Is that one of our fans, Roku? For some poor guy over in Japan. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And the wife's going, Getty, Getty, Getty.
Yeah, he's on.
He's on.
He's on again. The guy that's never prepared. But
Hey, we're Americans. We're always prepared.
yeah, for sure. So I think that I haven't heard how the ski team is done. So I don't know if they had that meet on the 23rd or not. It was wasn't last week. That was so windy.
A little windy, cold. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't.
Perfect skiing weather.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, nah, they even call that off when it's like that. I mean, well, compare the difference from today when we got to the show from last week when we left the show.
It's kind of funny. When I come out of the restaurant this morning, there's a gentleman that lives in the apartment above one of the buildings there, and I'm looking at his car. It's just packed with snow. I look at the license plate, New York. So I don't know if he drove all the way from New York for that snow. But can you imagine in Buffalo? I mean,
Ooh.
God forbid that. And sorry to hear about the people that passed away. But can you imagine 4 feet of snow? Wow.
And I mean, obviously the reason they get that is because they're lake effect, because they're right. Erie? I think Lake Erie, if my
Yep.
geography is right.
That's correct.
But our winters are probably worse than
Ours are longer.
well.
To begin
That's
with.
for sure. So I mean,
Now they're saying, 10 inches of snow next week?
I don't hope not. I hope not.
Yeah.
Because that means the cold weather's coming.
That means you
Again.
got to shovel the driveway.
Yeah, and it's just getting down to the
Just getting
cement.
down to cement.
It's starting to dry up a little bit. But now obviously we got 11. Now we got
Yeah, we got to go.
10 minutes. But the Timberwolves last night
Lost.
got beat by Zion Williamson pretty much in the fourth
Yeah,
quarter.
40 points.
And he scored 13, 14 points in a row to close out the game. Is their season done?
I don't know how long is Cat supposed to be out.
I heard this morning until February.
Well, then they're done.
And it started out as a calf strain.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, come out and actually tell us maybe he ripped his muscles in his calf.
I
If
don't
it's
know.
a strain, he should be back in 4 to 6 weeks.
He's the epitome of what's his name is to the Twins. He plays not even a half a season.
Well, no, he was pretty durable last year. He didn't miss many games last year, but this year I don't know, if he's out till February,
That's tough.
that's
And
that's
again, they've
not-
got players coming up. I've never heard of half of the kids on their team now. A lot of them are coming up from the D League to play.
Mhm.
So,
But I don't.
yeah, could be worse. We could be Laker fans.
We might end up down there
Yeah.
by the Lakers by the time the season ends because they were beating the Pelicans, and then they let Zion go off. Rudy Gobert hasn't, I don't know, lived up to his expectations yet. But I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but the most entertaining game the Wolves played was against Oklahoma City a couple weeks ago or a week and a half ago. You just sat there and watched them. They moved the ball around the perimeter, took the shots when they had them, and nobody pounded the ball into submission.
Yeah.
And now you got everybody. And that was when D'Lo was out and Rudy was out and Carl was out. And I know these guys personally, but
Close personal friends are.
yeah, I wish. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I hope their season's not. They're 16 and 19 right now, and I don't know if anything's going to look brighter because now they have the Bucks coming up,
Yep.
and
They should have beat Boston too when they played Boston the
Well,
other night.
I know that now the woulda, shouldas, and couldas
Yeah.
are going to come into play now, and
Yep.
you got to take care of business when you can take care of it.
Got to close the games out when you can.
Yep.
Of course, the NBA, you just turn on the last 3 minutes, you get the whole game right there. So,
That's a fact.
but
Wild continued their winning ways.
Yep.
Beat up on the Jets the other night, 4-1.
big game against Dallas.
Dallas coming up tonight. We'll have to have Pat on again.
Yep.
Talk about them. I'll have to maybe next week, or well, no, he won't. We won't have a show next week, I don't think, because the A1 producer is going to be gone.
Where are you going?
Puerto Vallarta
Huh?
Oh, so falsi sin ti,
for
senor.
a week.
Puerto Vallarta.
For a week. He's
For a
gone.
week.
Puerto
Wow.
Vallarta.
That's what I said, Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, we'll be gone for a week.
Oui, oui.
So in 2 weeks, maybe I can try to schedule him in. That should be more than enough time for him to clear his schedule.
Well, I think a good producer director would have had a backup plan for us to do the show down in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, well, he could have taken us with
I mean,
him.
he could afford to pay for us to go.
Nah.
But yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think he wants to see us in a Speedo.
No, they're getting good goaltending from both Fleury and Gustafson,
Yes.
and they're starting to score. Zuccarello's starting to score a little more. They got their Ryan Hartman's back.
Yeah, they got their enforcer back. So they're not picking on our Russian as much as they used to.
Well, the one game I'd like to see right now is I don't think Reeves was around when we played the Kings the last time when Doughty was
Whacking and
when
hacking
he
them.
whacked and
Yeah.
hacked him and then got him kicked out of the game. And I would love to see Ryan Reeves go after him.
Yeah. Well, there you are promoting that at Binance and Sports again.
That's okay. Doughty, time for him to retire. Sorry. But
Well, maybe that'll happen, right?
well, maybe not. But maybe they will. Maybe
Yeah.
they're playing. I don't know if they're playing again this year or not.
Oh, I don't know.
'Cause
I
they
would
only
think
play-
they are. They're in the Western Division.
Well, yeah, but they only play teams out of their conference or out of their division, I think, 3 times.
Okay.
And I know they play the Kings at least twice.
Yeah, Ron's looking it up.
So maybe we'll have the Kings again. Maybe it'll be in Minnesota.
Yep.
Because he's not going to doubt he's not going to get a rousing, warming.
And
look
you'll
in
be
the-
down there on the glass, pounding on that glass. Kill him! Kill him!
So but I would like to see actually, and I don't know if they'd ever do this, but I'd like to see Marco Rossi, Sammy Walker, and Matt Boldy on
Oh.
one line.
I can only go until February, but I don't see anything after that.
Well, I guess you'll have to call our friend up or call your buddy up at the Wild and tell him to do that.
Yeah. Well, I wish I had that kind of pull. I don't, obviously they want Rossi to season himself down in Iowa, but
Well, I'm
why
sure
not put those 3 young? Sammy Walker has done fairly well since he's been called up. And we know what Matt Boldy can do, and now it's up to Marco Rossi to take the next step. And I don't know why that line combination wouldn't work.
Well,
But they have the guys they're solidified with their lines, and you're not going to get rid of a Steele or a
the
Dewar or somebody.
coach will be on there. Hey, that guy from Hibbing's calling again. He wants to know why you don't have these 3 guys playing with one another.
Put them together and see. I mean, I don't know why they're hesitant, but I don't know why. Vikings,
Hey, those Vikings. Got cardiac kids.
well, no doubt about that.
I think this is going to be their biggest game of the year against Green Bay. I think, and now they're saying Rodgers didn't practice yesterday. They don't know if he's going to practice today. He's got a hand and knee.
Well, he's got a
Problem.
knee issue for sure that he hurt against Miami.
And I think this is going to be a great test for him because not only is it a big rival game between them, but it's a lot for Green Bay. They need to win. And I just think that if the Vikings want to show that they are the team that they are this year, they have to beat Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they have to start showing to me that they don't have to play one-score games.
Well, that's true.
That's the problem I'm having with it. And they're winning, yes. Well, last year they lost 7 or 8 games by 1 score. This year they won, I think, 11.
But when you look at the way that some of their games have gone, they should have been up by 2-3 touchdowns. But those darn referees, they keep taking it away from them.
No, let's not get into that one.
Well, it took away 2 of them against.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
They did. But it's just like a broken record.
And you
though.
know Green Bay's going to get the calls in Green Bay.
Well, they got the calls in Miami. Face it.
Yes, they did.
I mean, how many holding penalties did they call in Miami?
And speaking of Miami, their quarterback is out now for maybe the rest of the year, maybe for his pro football career with the 3 concussions.
And you'd think the other thing is you'd think they still have a shot at the number 1 seed.
Yep.
Now they're 2 games out, I believe, or 1 game or whatever it is. But Philadelphia does not have their quarterback.
Right. He's done, not done, but he's still.
Well, he's not going to
Injured.
play in, I don't think, the last 2 regular
Yeah.
season games.
That's the question I get. If the Vikings, let's say the Vikings win in Green Bay, their final games against Chicago, do you rest your players?
Not if number 1 seed's on the line.
No.
Although I don't. Do they? Well, the other question is do they need their best players to beat Chicago? Now Justin Fields is coming into his own. I mean,
Yep.
he's running, making teams pay with his legs, and he can also throw a little bit.
Yeah.
But
And our defense isn't the best
Well,
in the NFL.
that's the thing.
So,
But now they made stops when they needed to make stops
yep,
too.
yes, they have.
So
We bend, but we don't break.
yeah,
Is that
I hate
how
that
it goes?
adage. Yeah, I'd rather just don't bend.
That's kind of like a hot chocolate and a whatever this thing
Yeah,
is.
frozen hot chocolate.
Yeah, frozen hot chocolate.
It's an oxymoron,
Yeah,
being
we-
drunk by a moron.
We bend, but we don't break.
Well, you break enough to give up 450
They're averaging what,
yards
400
a game.
yards a game?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, tighten up the D, actually cover somebody.
Yep.
I mean, it's not that difficult. You will see it in every game
Well,
where a guy goes, it gets wide open.
it'll be interesting too to see that linebacker they got from Green Bay,
Oh,
playing against his own-
Zadarius Smith, yeah.
how well he plays and what he does to disrupt things for the Aaron Rodgers.
Well, maybe Rodgers' knee is hurt worse than we think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You think he wears that ponytail under his helmet?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why not. But
I am the power.
but we'll give our producer a little bit of leeway here, so
We're going to cut her short today?
we'll sign off. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope 2023 goes well for everyone.
And let's hope that Ron has a nice trip down in Puerto Vallarta.
Yep. So for Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again in a couple weeks on Home Team Advantage.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.